Do people who are married, do they trust each other? It's a problem if you don't trust your partner with your life.
No.
And what I've identified actually when couples fight about phones, at the pedestal is an issue of cheating. We don't have a generation of people that share stuff. We don't have a generation of people that are ready for intimacy. Our very foundation of marriage, do we trust each other? The many people that advocate for privacy actually are not advocating for privacy. They are advocating for secrecy. We are not protecting work matters. We are protecting cheating.
Yeah.
For me, I'm sorry to use this word, but stuff the POPIA. I'm married to you. I'm not married to the POPIA. I'm not married to the government. You and I are one. The two become one. You and I have been connected sexually. Our souls are connected. We have a soul tie.
Sure.
So commitment compels me to be open to you. Actually, not to give you transparency, but to give you absolute transparency. Hello everyone. Welcome to Love and Marriage Today. It's been a blast. It's been a blessing. It's great to be on your screens. We had a great episode last time. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for following. Thank you for commenting on our social media. Some of you are reaching out for consultations, therapy sessions. We have got a clientele throughout the globe, South Africa, Saudi Arabia, USA, Taiwan, China, Abu Dhabi, Australia, Namibia, Botswana, Eswatini, and all over. So it's a blessing to be able to serve you. You are coming with marital issues, sometimes the most complex issues, but people do get help. So thank you so much for tuning in. Mrs. Dlamini, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm excited for today. Looking forward to having this discussion that we're actually having.
Today we're going to talk about excuses against transparency. Excuses against transparency. Before we go to excuses against transparency, because we talk about issues of having access to your partner's phone, maybe to their bank statement or financials, people really get heated up. So we'll talk about it. And there are excuses, philosophical excuses.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about it. Which is which? What is the truth when it comes to transparency? Before we go there are comments on social media. We did have a comment on YouTube. It's from Sabelo Machola. He says, cheating is doing or saying something you won't want your partner to find out.
Yeah. Wow, that's actually precise.
Yeah. Thank you so much,
I
Sabelo.
think that is on point.
Yeah. And another one from Nonkululeko Mtsweni. She says, my husband cheated on me, and when I said to him, you have broken our marriage vows, he said he didn't. Even I just can't understand. We are still married, but I don't trust him. What do you think? What would be your advice to Nonkululeko?
Yeah, it's a difficult one because you cannot trust him unless, of course, he allows you guys to visit that area again. But if he says he doesn't believe that he broke anything, including their vows, then it's a bit of a difficult situation. I think they would best, visit a professional to help them through.
If someone cheats on you, do they violate your marriage vows?
Their own marriage vows.
Yeah, their own marriage vows.
Yeah, they actually violate because, that's another thing we need to even discuss one day. Is the vows themselves, how important and what significance do they actually hold? Because it seems like people are able to say them today and tomorrow they don't matter.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. She says she's lost trust.
Yeah.
But can you trust someone who says, we can't visit the issue, we can't talk about it. I cheated. Let's move on.
You can't, because you ask yourself, does this mean it can happen again? And because he feels like he did nothing wrong, like he didn't break any vows, so he actually is saying, I can do it again. It's not a big deal.
You know, if you would say to me, we can't revisit the issue, maybe let me say you cheated and you say to me, we can't revisit the issue, what it would lead me to do? Do you know what it would lead me to do?
I don't know, but I can imagine. I can imagine. You know, you'd probably feel like, you know what, I'll check out from the marriage, because
Now I feel the marriage would be over. Number one, what I expect from you if you've done wrong, if you're the perpetrator, is a remorse, is humility. If you say to me, we're not having this conversation, the marriage is as good as over, I would divorce. But you know, nina bomama, you ladies, hey, man. No, you have to stay.
let's get to today's topic.
We talk about excuses against transparency. Excuses against transparency.
Yeah. Yeah, and mostly this has to do with the phone issue, which is a subject that we have
Even
spoken
bank statements,
about.
bank
Well,
statements.
yes, the bank statements as well. But yeah, basically, you know, transparency. You'll hear people say, "Oh, but you know, because yes, we are in now technologically,
Modernized.
whatever."
Yeah.
Generation,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
everything now sort of happens within the phone, you know, the phone, the tablets, and all of that. So you hear people say, "Oh, but in my phone, I actually have information, you know, confidential information from my workplace, or confidential information,
So what do the Dlaminis
whatever."
say about that?
What do you say about that?
I understand there's confidentiality. For example, myself and yourself are practitioners. We handle very confidential cases or issues.
Yeah.
I'm bound by a confidentiality clause. But you and I share phones. Our kids use our phones to play. Phones is not an issue in our home. And what I've identified actually, when couples fight about phones, at the pedestal is an issue of cheating. I've never had a client come in and say, I found these work-related matters. No, what makes people fight is the stuff on WhatsApp, is stuff relating to the opposite sex. So the position of we cannot have transparency in marriage because I've got my work matters,
Yeah.
you know, my job is one that requires confidence. It doesn't hold enough weight. I tell you the truth, I have to be honest, many a times it has to do with deviating, dodging the truth. We make it like it's because we've got work matters to protect. We are not protecting work matters. We are protecting cheating.
Yeah.
And the many people that advocate for privacy actually are not advocating for privacy. They are advocating for secrecy. And there's a difference between privacy and secrecy.
And actually, to that point, I would like to add that you're on point. I would like to add that actually it's not even work files or work whatever.
Have you ever
that
seen a
is.
couple fighting about work files?
Because what I'm thinking is, if there's work information, really like serious work information that is not supposed to be out in public, or then it won't be in the phone.
Okay.
It should not be in the phone.
Yeah.
What is it doing? What is it doing in your phone? You might be even the CEO or whatever, but you know,
It's not in the
proper
phone.
information that is supposed to be, you know, tightly confidential. Then it's not supposed to be in their phone.
Let's talk about our work files. You've got your files. I've got my files. They don't stay on my phone.
Yeah.
They stay, yes, on my tablet where I store everything.
But also it is stored and locked somewhere.
But still, I don't lock it. You've got access. And I know you won't go there because you don't need my work files. There's nothing for you there. You're not interested. I deal with high-profile cases of the country. some in intelligence, some in the army, some in the legal fraternity. They come with their cases, but you're not interested in those cases. Actually, when you get home, you just want to rest, you want us to play.
True.
So I don't see us ever fighting about work-related files. I don't care about your work cases. Actually, when I get home, I'm so tired. I don't care. You do share with me sometimes. I've got a case like this, and as professionals,
that's shared
confidentiality. Shared confidentiality.
Yeah.
But the crop of people that are against transparency, that flag or throw up the I've got work stuff card, they don't talk about shared confidentiality. And also, I want to wrap up with this one. When I married you because I know you've got my best interest at heart. I trust that you can protect my work. Then the question becomes, if I don't trust you with my work files and secrets, deep secrets, the question is, Tyler Perry, why did I get married to you?
Yeah.
I feel sometimes we get married to lunatics, people we don't trust, and yes, they are not trustworthy. Anything you share with them that relates with work, tomorrow it's in the streets, they're exposing you. And it's not to speak in an arrogant manner. Isn't it that we need to go back to our foundation? The problem is in the foundation of our marriages. We don't trust each other.
Yeah.
It's a problem if you don't trust your partner with your life.
No. Yeah.
With your work secrets. So for me, the topic moves from a topic of phones and cheating. It becomes a topic of our very foundation of marriage. Do we trust each other?
It's a big one.
It's a big one. And unfortunately, we're looking at the wrong place. The ball is not at the place where we're looking. The argument shouldn't be about phones. The phone is nothing. It's just a gadget. The biggest argument is, do people who are married, do they trust each other?
Yeah.
I have a question for you. Can you trust me with your work?
I can trust you with my work. Because, okay, I guess our situation is also different because we work together. So I can say it's easy in that manner to trust you with my work, because I know there is something that I'm learning from you as well. There is something that you are learning from me. We also, of course, at times discuss cases because we may need, to advise each other.
Yeah.
So I don't have, and even there was a time where we worked
separately. That's where
jobs.
I wanted to go.
Yes, there was a time where we worked separate jobs. I'd come back and share with you. You'd come back and share with me.
Actually, I would be your shoulder to cry on.
Yeah.
You'd come back at times, cases from work. Originally, you've got a social work background. So you'd come with your cases trained, and I'd be your therapist, your companion. The question I have is, in this thing of saying I've got my work-related matters which my partner shouldn't know, where does the part of companionship come in, where we have to be there for each other, where you could run to your partner and say, there's a case at work. You might be an advocate, a lawyer. You're saying there's a case at work that's draining me, and you could share with your partner. Unfortunately, the guys on social media, they are so vehement, they are so defending this thing, saying I've got work-related matters that my partner should not know. They are never talking about the important aspect in marriage of being there for each other, the important aspect of companionship.
True, because it's actually beyond just us talking about work and what happened at work. It's that, it's companionship, it's running home to somebody who's going to listen, to somebody who's going to say it's going to be okay, to somebody who's going to say you've done well, because there's a great possibility no one is going to tell you that at work.
Unfortunately, it seems like our generation doesn't have that. What I'm learning from social media and the advocates of I've got my work is my work, my partner shouldn't access my phone. What I'm getting is that it means in our generation, we don't have a generation of people that share stuff. Yeah. We don't have a generation of people that are ready for intimacy. They could go to their partner, they could have, unless people are lying to us, But I think in a normal marriage, people share stuff. You might be going through a tough case at work. I had another client say to me, I was going through a serious legal battle because of a discrepancy at work. And they've shared with their partner. Your partner should be there for you through the most trying. My challenge is that it seems like we make family or marriage work, if we're coming into this marriage institution with the work mode, so much technicality, where you're so much holding on to privacy, but you are able to share your private parts with someone. It just doesn't make sense. At the end of the day, we are human beings.
Yeah.
We are not robots governed by the POPIA Act.
You're touching another elephant in the room.
Big
Because
one.
a big elephant in the room, because you hear couples say, or a spouse saying, oh no, there's the POPIA Act, so there are certain things that you can't just take my phone and look through my WhatsApp.
For me,
And they are married, so I don't know. When we put it on a scale.
For me, I'm sorry to use this word, but stuff the POPIA Act. I'm married to you. I'm not married to the POPIA Act. I'm not married to the government. At home, besides being the marriage therapist that I am, at home, I'm a human being. I'm a father. I'm a husband. And I'm a leader. My leadership requires me to be transparent with you. I'm a leader at home. Forget the POPIA Act. So if you say to me, can I have access to your phone? I want to make sure that my leadership is trustworthy. There should never be a day where if you say to me, can you give me your phone, I should hesitate. What am I hiding? I've got nothing to hide. I'm a leader at home. Actually, I think we got the marriage paradigm wrongly. For most people that I see on social media, it's their work first before the marriage.
Yeah.
It's the POPIA Act first before the marriage. It's the marriage regime first before the marriage. But I believe the right paradigm of marriage, it's the marriage first.
It's supposed to be like that.
It's you first.
Yeah, it's supposed to be
I'm
like
a human being to you before I'm a professional.
Yes.
So
yes.
if you say to me, can I have your phone? And please, they are toxic. I know they are toxic partners who always want the phone. But I've been with you for 14 years. You are a sound person. You wouldn't just want the phone. And we are not encouraging snooping, suspicion, toxicity. But normally if someone wants a phone, it's because there's an issue somewhere. There's some trust that has been lost. So if you say to me, Joanna, if you could say to me, can I have your phone? No problem, I'll give you my phone. You won't find nothing. You come back tomorrow, can you give me your phone? I'll give you the phone, you won't find nothing.
And if there's work stuff, then I'll find work stuff.
And I'm gonna
because people are going to say, oh, but the work stuff is there. Well, let him or her find the work stuff.
And I'm going to look at you and say, you found work stuff. Tara, are you happy now?
Yeah.
Do you want to check the phone again tomorrow? Tomorrow again, 5 p.m., we're going to have an appointment. We're going to have such a meeting. I'll show you my phone. I've got nothing to lose if I've got nothing to hide.
So how come you don't limit me when it comes to work stuff, your work stuff?
You are my helpmate. The good book says you are my helpmate. My work is not just my work. It's our work. The work that I do, the business that I run, the company that I run is our legacy. So definitely you are vested in this thing. You should have an interest. If you wouldn't have an interest, I would be worried. I don't have my work. It's our work. And also you have a responsibility to be my supporter, to be my helpmate. So if you want to be involved to some extent, I don't need to report everything to you because it's impossible, but at least the scope, kind of like a synopsis of everything. You have a right to that. And if you want any information, be it an access to a file, I owe you that. Remember, we married for better or worse, for rich or for poor, in sickness and health. I don't think you could commit to such a lifetime contract with no commitment from my side.
True.
So commitment compels me to be open to you. Actually, not to give you transparency, but to give you absolute transparency. As long as you could walk on me whilst I'm in the bathroom doing a number 2, it's just, there's no privacy.
Yeah. Yeah.
We are one. We are one. We are one. Interesting one. Do you believe your work stuff is a no-go area?
No.
Why?
Because
Because I've heard some women are like, don't touch my work. Why do you think that way?
why do I think about
That-
the women that say,
No. Why do you think?
okay, that
your-
my work is not a no-go
yeah,
area?
Yeah.
Well, for me, I think it also comes with the understanding of what marriage means. Unfortunately, once you are married, I don't know, it's unfortunate or fortunate. Once you are married, there are things that cease and there are things that begin. You know? For instance, this whole privacy thing, like it totally ceases.
Yeah.
Like it means I cannot, I think the when we started, you spoke about that. You mentioned that comment
Yeah.
from that
Yeah.
one subscriber who
Yeah.
spoke about how cheating is something that you do that you don't want to do or
Your
say
partner.
that you don't want. But once you are married, you cannot have things that you don't want your partner to find out about.
So now it leads me to the golden question. Do you have privacy in our marriage?
I don't yeah, I don't have privacy. I don't.
Ask me the same question.
Do you have privacy?
I don't have privacy. What am I hiding from? Me hiding from you. Okay. You and I are one. The two become one. I am you. That's how deeply I take marriage. You are me.
Yeah.
On the next episode, we're going to discuss what is individuality, because some people say being married doesn't mean I should lose my individual sense.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm an individual, but you and I are one. Sex, actually, according to the Hebrew tradition, what consummates marriage is not signing on a piece of paper like we do in South Africa. What consummates a marriage is sexual intercourse. You and I have been connected sexually. Our souls are connected. We have a soul tie. I am you, you are me. I carry you wherever, you carry me wherever. So if I say I've got privacy, I'm hiding from you. If I'm hiding from you, I'm hiding from myself. If you are hiding from me, you are hiding from yourself.
Crazy. It sounds really crazy. But you hear people say, I have secrets that, my family secrets. I have discussions or family talks that I have that I wouldn't want you to see.
Okay, yeah. That's another excuse.
Because it was work, and then we're saying,
Yeah.
I work, you can't be telling us about
Yeah,
work.
that's
And
another-
then they come and say, it's family, actually, family, because it's not his family, it's
Yeah,
my
I've
family.
heard those ones.
There are things that he can't know.
Yeah, secrets with my sibling,
Yes.
with my parents. Okay, do I have secrets of my family that you don't know?
Do you?
I don't have. The day I
I
married
thought you don't have, yeah.
No, I don't have. The day I married you, you became a part of my life. I come as a package. I come with Nokwanda. If you can't take that, I'm sorry. Then you're out of my life. I come as a package. This is a woman that's been chosen by me. We are one. Number two, from a cultural perspective, you are now part of the Dlamini family. Yeah, we could have some family meeting somewhere, kuthiwe sicela abantwana balakhaya basale and what. But must figure, erumini lethu, when we get to our house, I'll share the outcomes of the meeting. Auntie Banban, begat. You are my gossip mate.
Well, I would assume that I can stay in the room.
You can stay in the room.
Because I actually become a child
In my
ekhaya.
family, actually, I laid that ground. It also comes back to the foundation you lay, premarital counseling. The foundation you lay in the beginning. In my family, I was clear, you're part of the family. If there's a family gathering, Nokwanda is to be a part of it because she's a daughter of the home. You can't be taking care of my mom like we do. Every month, and I delegated everything that you send money home, you send money to my mom. Then when there's a family meeting, my mom doesn't want you. It just doesn't make sense. So you want my hand, but you don't want me. So it doesn't make sense. Do you have secrets of your family?
I don't. Actually. I think at times, you'd hear people say, oh, there are things that your
Shouldn't tell
husband
your
shouldn't
husband, your
know
wife.
about your family. Mina, I think I probably have overshared.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing that you don't
Yeah.
know. If anything happens today, I come back and I tell you. If something happened somewhere down the history, I share with you. There's so much
Yeah.
about my family. So there's no secret whatsoever. There is nothing that we discuss today and you don't know about it.
How would it make you feel if I had family secrets and I said to you, you can't touch my phone because there are things I discuss with my siblings, secrets of the family? How would it make you feel?
Well, it would make me feel like an outsider. It would make me feel like, why did you get married? It would make me want to ask you that. It would make me feel like, okay, you still prioritize your family above me. But there's a twist in that. I wanted to bring this up.
Bring it
There's
on.
a twist in that. You'd hear people say, oh no, we're actually organizing or putting together a surprise celebration for my wife. So that is why I have these things that I am discussing with my family. Yeah.
But that's a once-off thing. That's a
Yeah.
once-off thing. And as I mentioned, we know what we're hiding in phones.
But you'll find that like during that once-off time, then the wife gets suspicious. What's going on?
There's nothing of that sort. What she'll be suspicious about and she'll be angry about is when she finds, oftentimes, she'll find instances of me sending money to family members and she doesn't know. That's what we are hiding. The family secrets we are saying we are protecting. Or there is cheating on the phone. So cases of a surprise, if it's a surprise, it's a once-off thing. And I don't think there's any partner who would be offended if they discover you were preparing a surprise for them.
But when they discover, then they are fine. But during the preparation,
Really, I'm old as I am. I've never met a client who said to me, hey, I was so unhappy. I discovered my partner was preparing a surprise. Come on.
the discovery is okay.
Yeah.
But the preparation, when you have things that you're hiding.
Again, I'm saying, I've never met someone who said my partner was fishy. They were hiding stuff. It just never happens. It is such things that we are talking about that causes people to fight. Financial infidelity, where you're making transactions and your partner is not aware. Cases of unfaithfulness. That's what causes people to fight.
Yeah.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
What about a partner? Let me say there's a lady. She's discovered that their husband or partner was cheating with a colleague at work. Then they call, for example, colleagues and, they confront them, call bosses also. Well, what do you think about that?
Yeah, it's possible. There are people who could do that also. And I personally would say, honestly, that is not necessary. That is not necessary because it's not going to give you the peace that you're actually looking for.
Yeah.
It's not good because the truth that you're looking for, it's supposed to come from your spouse. It's supposed whatever that has happened, he's the one or she's the one that is supposed to be telling you, not you going around. Because unfortunately, now remember, the two wrongs don't make right. So when you are going around calling, colleagues and bosses about your private matters, they now have a certain perspective about you.
It's messed up your marriage. Yeah, it's messed up your record, yeah.
Yeah, now you are more like the crazy person or you're like the crazy wife. Gandhi, the issue here is we are trying to find out, what did my husband do?
Final one I want to close with. What happens with the partner, a lady? I've heard some guys who say, yeah, my wife has access to my phone now. She then gets into my Facebook and unfriend people on my behalf. Or they go to WhatsApp and they text people, act like it's me talking. What do you think about that?
Again, not necessary.
Yeah.
Not necessary at all. We can't be in control of everything. As much as we would love to, we cannot be in control of everything. We cannot control what our husbands and our wives do.
Yeah.
We can't be our wives and speak on behalf of our wives and husbands.
Yeah.
You know, that's another thing. It should tell you if your wife or your husband is not able to do the right thing, if there are certain people that they need to delete or block, if they're not able to do that on their own accord, then it must tell you something. It must tell you something, not you go ahead and do that, because you are choosing for them. Remember, we also have a right of choice.
Yeah, free will.
Freedom of choice. So a person needs to do that by their own free will. They want to do it.
Yeah, some people go...
Not forced to do it.
Some people go and block people on their partner's behalf. I think it's toxic. I can imagine me going to the phone, unfriending people on your behalf. I don't have time for that. Blocking people on your behalf. I trust you as an adult. If you've done something wrong, to show remorse and do the right thing. So we don't force people. We don't force people. So we are not about snooping around. We are not about being suspicious. We are not about controlling your partner. There should be some level of respect. But we are for transparency, which is important to create intimacy in the marriage. I cannot trust you. I cannot commit deeply to you if I feel like you're withholding stuff against me. Yeah.
True. So no, we'll leave it there today. Yeah. This is where we leave it. Yeah. Thank you once again for tuning in. We are seeing your comments. We would love to hear your understanding and your views when it comes to this topic that we're talking about today. Yeah. We really enjoy hearing from you. So please keep them coming. And if you have not subscribed, please make sure that you touch that dial and subscribe and become part of our family. We are looking forward to the next episode. So please stay tuned, check out. We will also inform you in our social medias when the next episode will be up.
Thank you.
You know, there's a danger in being married and you have so many things that you do apart.
Yeah. When it comes to priorities, people give family 30%.
Less, yeah.
Then they give friends and their personal hobbies and work 70%.
We really need to understand what we put ourselves into.
What is marriage?
What is marriage?
I'm at us. It's like we don't know.
Like we don't know what we have put ourselves into. Once we are married, and I know people will come with, oh no, our marriage regime, we are married out of community of property. It does not matter.
So it's like their partner's presence sucks. The question becomes, why are you married if your partner's presence sucks? The challenge we have in our generation, people don't realize that marriage is actually a call to surrender. People are not ready to surrender their single lives. What causes many couples to divorce is failure to understand such a basic principle, a principle of oneness.